The Maersk shipping company is holding a news conference in Norfolk, Virginia, about 15 minutes from now. Maersk's CEO is expected to give us an update on the status of the crew in Mombasa, Kenya, and again, coming up at 3:30 in the afternoon Eastern. We should point out that the company has also set up an email address if you would like to send messages of support for the captain and for his family. You can see the address. Actually, you can't see it. I want to tell you what it is. It's URL. It's MaerskLineLimited.com. That's M-A-E-R-S-K LineLimited.com. Now, a statewide job fair in New Hampshire offers 1,500 jobs, and about 10,000 people actually showed up to try to get those jobs. Organizers expected to draw about half that number. They stopped allowing people in after 2 hours. Because of this massive turnout, another job fair will be held, we're told, but not for a few months. Now, signs of hope for job hunters. Some economists see hiring picking up by the end of the year. Unfortunately, millions of Americans are finding themselves out of work right now. We've been following 10 of them in our Jobless, Not Hopeless series. We have an update now from Frederica Whitfield.
Dominic Granata was laid off after 16 years with a telecommunications firm. He says he was stunned because he had been promoted several times, but it didn't matter. The company went bankrupt. As Granata sets off each day in search of a new job, he hopes he can turn his skills into an asset for a new employer.
Something in logistics or order management, or an analysis position where I can help the company cut costs.
We first met him in mid-March at a Georgia unemployment office, 2 weeks after he lost his job.
I'm here to meet Mr. Shelley.
Okay, your name is?
Dominic Granata.
Now he's interviewing with recruiter David Shelley, the middleman between Granata and companies that are still hiring in this recession. And Shelley is helping Granata set himself apart from other candidates.
Especially in today's market, you really need to highlight driving cost out, your accomplishments. So look at this as a sales call on your part.
Since being laid off, Granata has had to cut back on his lifestyle, focusing on what his daughters need.
I could live on peanut butter, but for my eldest especially, it's impacting her in her first year of college as well, and it's making it hard on me from that point of view.
But recruiters say things are looking up in the job market.
My division is a temp-to-hire division, and when there is a recession, the temporary workforce is the first to go. When we're on a comeback, the temporary workforce is the first one back. So we are definitely seeing an increase in our orders. Companies are hiring, a little afraid to pull, those full-time people back on their permanent payroll. So they're using temporary people to do that.
Some light at the end of the tunnel for full-time jobs as well.
The perception out there overall is becoming a lot more positive. So you take January, for example, the forecasting was that hiring would resume, mid to end of 2010. Right now, employers are a lot more optimistic in saying that Q3, Q4 of this year is when things will start to pick up. So the overall feeling out there is a lot more positive.
And the more solid your qualifications, the better.
The folks that hire right now are going to get the very best talent available out there, and it'll be more watered down. They'll get less of the good talent if they wait to pull the trigger. So now's the best time to get the very best people that are available in the marketplace.
And Granata, for one, believes he has an excellent employment history.
We should be able to effectively start to facilitate some interviews.
I look forward to it. Look forward to it. Doing this on your own, right? It can be isolating, and it can be hard on the morale. So it's nice to get some good news for a change.
Frederica Whitfield, CNN, Atlanta.
It is nice to have some good news. There is another sign of an economic rebound. Temporary agencies are reporting an uptick in demand. Temp jobs the first to go and often the first to come back. Talk more about this. That's Susan Zingaro. She's the Executive Vice President of FirstPro Staffing. It's a temp agency here in Metro Atlanta. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming in again on a Saturday.
You're quite welcome. It's nice to meet you.
You're optimistic about this as well. You think this is actually a good time to be looking for work.
Yes, absolutely. What you just said about temporaries being the first to go and the first to come back, we are seeing that happening. When the forecasts were made that it was going to be 2010, We can't agree with that any longer. April itself, and we've only been in April for 10 or 11 days, we're seeing a real nice push towards the positive.
Okay, but you may not get the exact job you want. You got to be flexible right now.
Flexibility is what it's all about, and that's flexibility in title, it's flexibility in salary, location, hours. There are jobs out there. America is not out of work, and there are people being offered positions every day, and those people are the ones that are flexible, broad-minded, and I use myself as an example. If I were to lose my job today, I can't fully expect to go to another agency or recruiting firm and be hired as an executive vice president. I'd start over as a branch manager. If I found the company I wanted to go to work for, I'd take any job they gave me and work my way back up.
You mentioned being broad-minded and being flexible. How do you sell yourself that you are broad-minded and flexible when you have your resume or your cover letter?
I would stay away from the cover letter, more the voicemail or the email. You have to be a salesperson. Your product is yourself, and you're selling yourself. If that's too hard for you to do, I cannot stress enough why you need a recruiter. We saw Dave Shelley a few minutes ago interviewing a gentleman. You absolutely need somebody that can present you as a package. At the end of the day, you're still going to have to do that interview. You leave a voicemail asking if they've received your resume. Did they receive your email? That voicemail has to be positive and set you apart.
If you've been out of work for a bit, though, I can understand how people may have a hard time propping themselves up and making themselves feel good and sell themselves.
It's ownership.
Yeah.
It's ownership. Your unemployment, unfortunately, is your ownership. But your employment will be your ownership as well. It is hard to get up. I'm not saying this is going to be easy. Some people are going to have to dig very, very deep to go back to that grind of please hire me. But there is something about you that was someone employed you before, and they will employ you again.
What are some of the industries? We see recession-proof industries, healthcare, education, still the same, but what other industries are going to start hiring again?
Information technology is a big one. The federal government is infusing billions of dollars into the economy. Look at the federal government. Look at your state governments. All of that work is going to come, all that money is going to bring work into every area of the country.
All right, Susan Zingaro, Executive Vice President of FirstPro Staffing based here in Atlanta. Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.